on, okay? Go to your room. No! Yes.
He's about to touch the candy he wants. He can almost taste it. He's salivating. We are back, and I have survived an entire week with my new glasses. I am a new glasses owner if you're new here, and I don't love it. I don't love the motion sickness feeling. When does the adjustment period end? I want to get off of this boat. But thankfully, when I sit down and I look forward, I don't feel the motion sickness as much. So we are going to watch another episode of Supernanny. So grab your beverage and let's dive in.
What's going on?
Me and my parents don't get along that well. To get away from it, I just come up here so I don't have to hear it. I don't think that she thinks I'm a good mom.
It must be rather difficult for Kristen to know that her own mother doesn't think she does a good job as a parent. But if you don't do much...
Well, this is interesting. Joe Frost sits down with Mom, and Mom begins to cry about her parents that she lives with, that take care of her two children when she's at work. The audacity to complain about free childcare and free rent, by the way, because I didn't show you this, but it was earlier in the episode where the grandparents, her parents, were explaining how she lives there rent-free and they take care of everything. Make it make sense.
Later on, Jaden asked for candy, and the adults weren't in agreement whether he should have it or not.
Hey, I told him no.
Oh, you told him no?
Yeah.
All right. Mom said no.
I hate you, idiot! That's on, okay? Go to your room. No! Yes. Now you get another minute. Now you get another minute. No!
Like Joe Frost said, this is so unfair to the child. You can have candy. No, you can't have candy. Grandma has the candy bin in front of him. She's opening up the candy bin. He's about to touch the candy he wants. He can almost taste it. He's salivating, and then whoosh, nope, you can't have the candy. Of course the kid is gonna lose his ever-loving mind. Candy is like gold to a child. What I suggest is if you're ever in a situation like this, let the current event slide and set the expectations for future events. So look at your child and you go, hey bud, you can definitely have that candy right now, but in the future, whenever one adult says something in our home, everyone is the same answer, and you may not ask another adult hoping for a different answer. And then when those expectations aren't met, because it's a child and of course they're going to do it again, that's when you institute a logical consequence. A good logical consequence is if they do go ahead and ask another adult and they get whatever it is. If it's, let's say it's candy, that means they skip candy the next time. So you have it connected to whatever it is. Hello, Kat. You want to come say hi to all the YouTube people? Come here. Here's Spiffy. Oh, I just knocked the table. If you've been around for a little while, I had a little story about Spiffy where he had a balloon string hanging out of his bottom because he decided he was going to eat the birthday balloon string. He's totally fine. I know somebody in the comments was like, how's the cat now? He's totally fine. He's happy. All right, back to the show.
I'm absolutely appalled and disgusted to see two young children think that it is okay to speak to their grandparents the way they spoke to them yesterday.
Well, they need role models.
There's turmoil in this house and it's breaking everybody up.
What have you all gotten me into watching this episode? This sit down was illuminating. We'll say it's illuminating because Joe Frost looks at the mother and says, you know, your children, I am appalled with how your children talk to their grandparents. I mean, grandma was on the floor on her hands and knees picking up all the toys. I agree, completely appalling. And in this moment, grandma decides this is the moment that I'm going to chirp in the most passive-aggressive way and say, well, that's because they don't have a good example of respect. At what point do you put your swords down and you move forward? Joe Frost is sitting here She's saying all of the things that you're saying. Do you need to say this in that moment? I'm assuming, and you guys can let me know what you think, that the grandma called Supernanny. That's my assumption because it doesn't look like Kristen, the mother, is interested at all in having Supernanny in the home. It looks like grandma called. And so you are sitting and Joe Frost is helping and we're ready to move forward and you decide in that moment that you are going to throw in a passive aggressive jab. Who are you trying to impress Joe Frost? She already saw everything. Put down your sword. Think about your goal. If you are ever in an argument with your partner, a friend, your parents, your little brother or sister, your children, and what you are about to say doesn't help the goal of the conversation, don't say it. Just don't say it because it's not helpful. Are you trying to be right or are you trying to reach your goal?
Who's going to get the kids up and dressed and ready for breakfast in the morning? Who do you think should be doing it?
Me, but I want to sleep too.
Excuse me?
I do like my sleep. But I have to, so.
Excuse me one moment. Let's go outside for a minute. I couldn't believe this, Mother.
Oh boy. You know it's bad when Joe Frost asks somebody to step outside.
You're in there and you're stalling about getting the kids ready. You're like, oh, but I want to lay in and I want to sleep.
Well, I'm telling you the truth.
These are your kids.
I said I'd do it.
These are your bloody kids.
I know.
Exactly. So recognise what you've got to do. You've had it too good for too long with your parents. When Mum comes home and she's on duty as such, right, you will be able to display Mum here and pop that in like so.
To solidify this schedule, Joe Frost gives them a clock, and the clock has a mom on the top or grandma, and it could change. So that means anytime the child needs something opened, they need to get something high up, they want to ask to go play outside, they want to ask why for the millionth time about whatever they want to ask about, because there's that stage too, they have to ask that person. And you know, if you are the default parent, how unbelievably frustrating it is when your child will go from one side of the house all the way past the other caregiver who's doing nothing, come and find you who's very busy to ask you a question. It's like you just passed that person who could have helped you. So I think it's a great idea to sit down, think about who's in charge when, because if not, one caregiver is constantly on call.
I sent Grandma and Grandpa away for a couple of hours because I know this much. Mum needs to get a handle on disciplining her own boys.
Wait. I'm good.
I already gave you a warning.
Okay, stop it.
No.
That was so hard to watch. The older child cursed at the table, and so then Mom put him in timeout, and then while he was in timeout, he encouraged his little brother to start cursing. So Joe Frost said, you know what, tell him that he's gonna go to bed early now because he's encouraging his brother to curse. And so then she tells him and he begins to escalate further. And as she's putting him to bed, going back and forth, he pours water on the floor. And then when she walks over it, she slips and it looks like it hurt. And she begins to lose it. So then Joe Frost takes her into the room to calm down, because when you are in a state like that, you cannot be in charge and you can't help your child in that moment because you're having a tantrum yourself, which is fine because you just slipped on water and that hurt and you probably need a break. But the kid, whew, that was rough.
Pat, there's a wonderful note on there that she's wrote, which I thought you'd really appreciate reading.
My mom says what I am thankful for on Saturday. My mom being strong today. And sticking with what Joe has taught us.
This is so sad. I know that I should be moved in this moment, watching this interaction between the daughter and the grandmother, and the daughter wrote the nice note and the grandmother's hardly getting through it and she's crying. But to me, it's just sad. I didn't show you guys this, but Joe Frost took the daughter to this program that helps these families who don't have a lot, you know, where they sleep, how they eat. She did it to show the daughter, like, look at all that you have. And the daughter was rude to the director, I think she was at that place. She was rude to Joe Frost. She had her arms crossed the whole time. She was on her phone texting people. And now I'm supposed to feel like the music is changing. I'm supposed to feel moved by this. This is the bare minimum for all that your parents do for you as an adult.
That your daughter cares about her boys?
I think Kristen cares about Kristen first.
Any comments, Cliff?
I think she loves her kids, but I don't think they come first.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty.
For the first time in the 25 episodes that I have reacted to with Supernanny, I have no idea what Joe Frost is going to do in this situation. She has an adult who doesn't understand the difference between giving and sacrificing. Children are sacrificing. You have to sacrifice. That means giving when you feel like you don't have any more. No matter how tired you are, you prepare that meal. No matter how tired you are, you make sure their homework is done and that they're ready for school. You have to put yourself second. And this adult doesn't know how to do that. So I don't know what Joe Frost is going to do. What is she going to do in this situation?
And suddenly it became very clear to me what the dark cloud was that was hanging over the room.
So you move. So where are you going to?
We might move to Colorado.
Okay. And is that a slim chance, or you feeling good about that, or?
Well, my boyfriend's there working right now.
All right. Okay.
Please tell me that this family ends up okay. We're almost at the end of it. We're almost there, guys. Let's finish it off.
Hope to hear from you all soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
If Kristen and her parents keep up their communication, then ultimately what they will do is start to heal those wounds that have kept them apart. And if they keep moving forward, it means it's going to benefit the whole family.
And that would be a good thing.
Guys, let's do it. Let's see the update. Fans almost universally hated this family. While they were appalled at the lack of respect coming from Jordan and Jaden, they were even more appalled at Kristen's behavior. I was appalled as well. They felt that she was immature, irresponsible, disrespectful, spoiled, and lazy. I mean, that's what Joe Frost called her during the whole episode. They believed that Kristen only called Supernanny for help to get validation. Oh, so Kristen called. Is that confirmed now? It was clear that she would not accept any help that consisted of criticism. I don't agree with that. She definitely tried the techniques that Joe Frost was doing, the timeout and all of that. Let's see if we can find anything on Instagram. This is Kristen's Instagram. This account is private. She does have 102 followers, so she keeps her followers very close. And she has 161 posts. Let's see if we can find anything on Grandma's Instagram. No posts at all. That's all I could find on this family. It's so frustrating. I want to know, how's mom? How are the kids? Does mom still talk to her parents, the grandparents? Do the grandparents get to see the kids? Does she still live in Colorado? Questions. I have questions and I have no answers. It's so frustrating. But as always, we respect people's privacy. Do not contact these people. Do not stalk them and try to find out that information. It is a highly edited TV show. We just use it as a jumping off point to discuss parenting techniques. So it's not about these people. It's about just learning and growing. And if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe because you hung out with me the whole thing. So if you've been watching my videos and you watch it until the end, maybe hit the subscribe. Maybe, because we are working our way towards 1,000 subscribers. I think it's going to happen this year. We'll see. And I'll see you guys next week.